it is my last question or not, because sometimes other questions just pop up. But
let's just chat. Yes,
I think my last question to you would be, given that you've gone through this journey, what's a piece of advice you would have given your younger self? But I think also linked to that, what is a form of encouragement you would give to a first-year student or to a student that's considering moving from actuarial to quantify? So quite broad, but basically being like, what are some of the insights you have learned, some of the encouragements that have been helpful to you, given your pathway, that I think would be really helpful to some of our listeners?
Firstly, take care of your mental health. Really do. Because, I mean, you come in first year and then they tell you, like, you really need to take care of your mental health. And, like, it's an important thing. But which was my third year, I experienced it. I had a mental breakdown. And it became apparent to me that this was something that I hadn't taken care of. And I needed to have a method to take care of it. But something outside of just like, oh, if I get through this hard period in academics, I'll be fine. I'll be happy. That's not the case. It must be something completely different to what you're doing, that you enjoy doing in life. Because you can't, and second point is that you can't make this degree your whole life.
Yeah.
I think it is a demanding course, and it does take away a lot of your time, of your day. Hence, it does become a large part of your life.
Yes.
But you have to make sure that you have a sense of self outside of actuarial science that you can kind of, call upon so that you can keep being yourself and keep yourself in check and be happy. And thirdly, walk around, move around, go for runs.
Yeah.
Go out and be in the sun.
Yeah.
Because it's very vital to your studies as well. Because if you're stuck in the same room for 12 hours, it's not the most productive thing.
Yeah.
For a human being. And for a person who might be thinking about moving into quantify, do it.
And then you're recruiting.
Yeah. The class is growing. I mean, since in 2019, there were like 3 students that was doing quantitative finance. My class was like 23 students.
Jeepers. Okay.
It grew. And it's got
it's just an awareness thing.
It's all an awareness thing. And I think when Lusani came in, he started pushing more for this quantitative finance stream of AXI. Because when I came in, it was the only thing that I think we only heard about it in orientation.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, there is a quantitative finance stream in third year. So in this next point, it's literally that. And I remembered that.
Yeah.
Because I think a couple of my friends and I, we were thinking about doing quantify anyways.
Going to. Yeah, I remember even when I was doing some of the orientation talks, there's a lot of people that are intrinsically interested in markets. And yet...
That's what most people want to do.
Really,
actuarial science.
Really interested in markets. I think, I think there is a lot of misunderstanding around the focus of the two different professions. And I'm hoping that this clarifies that for people. But it's amazing how many people are just really interested in markets, which is fantastic because they are deeply interesting, deeply complex, and there's a lot of work to be done in that space. But it's just, I think, maybe something that people just have great exposure to.
Yeah, and one of the things that I also applied to finance.
Yes,
but I've spoken to a couple of people that did finance. I mean, my friends have done finance undergrad, and I've known people that have graduated a couple of years ago, and they were saying that it isn't quantitatively rigorous.
Which is what you wanted.
Which I wanted.
You said you liked the computational subject.
Which is what quantify offers for you.
Yes.
And also, if you do quantify, you have quantify topics that you can choose.
Got you.
For research topics, and they're very cool.
Yeah.
They are exactly what I wanted to do.
So can you give an example of like what a project would be like in that space?
So I'll give an example of our project that I did with my group.
Yes.
My honors thesis was pricing down and out options, barrier options, using feed-forward artificial neural network.
Wow.
So you get to price assets, like financial instruments, using coding, which was my 2 favorite things.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So it's something that you get to deal with, and this was the kind of work that you will be dealing with once you go into the workspace as a quant analyst. And I was going in for interviews as a quantitative analyst in consulting firms. And all they do, they asked us to do Excel spreadsheets and Excel tests, and they were saying, okay, price a forward or price a futures, and then price an option by using black scores.
Sure.
Basically.
Yeah.
And those are the things that you will learn through doing quantitative finance. And I don't know, I have no regrets. I'm very happy with what I've chosen to do. I think my friends are also happy that they've chosen quantitative finance stream. I mean, a lot of my other friends are happy that they've chosen mainstream backside.
Yeah, it's a different
different
strokes for different folks kind of thing, right?
Yeah. I just want to get rid of that bad connotation that the quantify gets as like, if you don't do well in Axi, then you go.
Yeah, it's like exactly like that's what you drop out to, and it's actually it's an equally important skill set that's being developed. It's just the emphasis is slightly different. So I think that's been really, really helpful. I think I just want to thank you so much for being on the podcast.
No, thank you for having me, Margie, and thank you for your food and chocolate.
No problem at all.
The podcast as well. I think it's I think what you're doing is really cool.
Thank you.
But you do this. Okay, first of all, you're an actuary, and second of all, you're teaching, and thirdly, you're cooking, and lastly, you're doing this.
I mean, I would put this maybe before the cooking, but yeah.
I feel that cooking's a way.
Or maybe more important to you, I think.
Definitely.
But for those of you who are listening, thank you for sitting and listening, or may not be sitting. Thank you for listening to our podcast episode. We enjoyed recording it, and I hope you enjoyed listening to it. Take you on the next one. Bye.
Bye-bye.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave a review on your preferred streaming platform. If you'd like to interact with us more or add questions or topics to our pool of ideas, please follow our Instagram page at ASforActuary or email us on asforactuary@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Take care.